Hi guys, this video was never meant to see the light of day. It started as a personal healing practice that I do every morning, a conversation between just me and my higher self. No camera was set up, there was no makeup, no hair done, just me early in the morning spilling all my truth into my phone. And the phone was not even set up straight, as you will see in the video. I think at some point it was slipping down somewhere, but why would I care, right? It was just for me to watch. But then I played it back and I realized, hey, someone out there might need to hear this. So if you have ever felt completely lost or stuck in a dark pit of hopelessness, or you're feeling like your self-worth has hit rock bottom, like mine had, I got you, girl. I know exactly what that feels like. Let me tell you, this video is the wake-up call you've been waiting for. So here it is, raw, unfiltered, straight from my soul to yours. I truly hope that you get out of your darkness and see the light and hope of tomorrow. Because it's gonna be just fine. You are going to be just fine. I promise you this. Don't give up yet, girl, okay? I love you and I bless each one of you and pray that you find a way out and find joy, peace, and excitement back again in your life. Now, let's get into it. This vlog is about me getting back in the game in order to reset my routine, to get back in the high mental energy. And of late, I had been feeling extremely low in terms of my mind. And when that happens, you can't do anything. Your body doesn't want to move, you don't want to take the action, you don't want to follow any habits, all your morning routines and everything gets thrown out the window. And you're just a human walking around, have no goals, no visions, and that can happen to anybody. And the mind plays tricks. Something might trigger it and all the past unhealed traumas will suddenly appear on the surface level, and it'll be like, whoa, I don't recognize that feeling. And then all your old habit patterns of dealing with such triggers will come into play, and then you will react by default the way you have always reacted. You forget all logic, you forget all the healing that you had done about it. And that's life. It keeps on bringing up stuff from your past and from your traumas that you even don't know have not healed yet. So yes, that happened, and I thought I was on my merry way of, yes, I got it and I'm all healed and I'm going to crush it this year, and there'll be this goals and visions and the vision board, and everything was going really, really well till I was hugely triggered and just brought me down to such a level that I was immobile. I just couldn't get up and do anything about it. And I was feeling like shit. I felt like I'd started having all this self-doubt about myself. Do I even value self-worth? Do I even have self-worth? Do I even love myself? Who am I? I was having all these negative talks about myself. I was trying to put an identity on myself based on how I was reacting and feeling and how I was emotionally. I had started putting an identity to it, and that is horrible. When you identify yourself as a weak person, it's very hard to get out of that space where all you're thinking about is, I'm actually not good enough, I am fake, and I'm just pretending to be happy when I have so much more to heal. And it all came up on the surface. And one thing good about all of this was that I took responsibility. That's the key. If that doesn't happen, you cannot proceed. You cannot move on to the next level, which is rising up on that emotional state. Doesn't happen. You will be in that cycle and you will be in that rut. You might be okay for a little while. You might find music to heal a little bit or a temporary relief by talking to a friend, but you will not, it will come up. It will again and again come up. And the same triggers will keep coming up till you don't put a cap on the bottle and shut it and heal it completely or release it, however you want to see that. So that's what was happening. And my good thing that I give pat on my back is that I did not run away. I did not quit. I was not looking for an escape. Yes, there was a moment when I was almost going to give up. I was almost going to quit. And quitting is easy, isn't it? Quitting is so much easier, so much easier than to face ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, you got some stuff to deal with. All these triggers outside your control are generating all these emotional reactions in you, but why are you reacting this way still? Why are you? So all of that reflection, it was all back on me. What is this teaching me? What do I have to heal from? The minute all attention goes back to you, that's when the actual healing starts. Yes, sometimes you do need a therapist, but in general terms, you can do some first aid. You know what I mean? So therapist is the doctor that you go to. But in the wake of that moment, you need some first aid tips. So this is what I did for my first aid kit. Hear me out. So one of the things, the first thing is taking responsibility. I accepted that I need work, I need improvement, and I'm not a saintly, godly preacher who has got it all figured out, sorted, and I'm all cool, and now I'm in a position to only teach and preach and help other people. No, I still was a student at this. So when you humble yourself down to that level that I still got stuff to learn about myself, that's where the real power starts. That is the real power, not outside. No one can show it to you, no one can tell you. They will tell a lot of things. Your friends, your therapist, your healer, your family tell you a lot of things that they think they are helping. But the real help starts when you start helping yourself. And the language that you use to speak to yourself will change the minute you give that yourself some slack. Cut yourself some slack and forgive yourself for feeling that way, because you're only human. And that's where the real power is. So I did that. I took responsibility. I still didn't know what I'm going to do about it. I still had no idea what taking responsibility even means. But at one point when I was feeling that low, I'd also stopped believing in the higher power. Yeah, that happens. I am not ashamed to admit it, that I had started questioning the law of universe, the law of attraction, and all the quantum physics, and who knows about this? Who's proven this? And I started questioning that maybe it's all make-believe just to make you feel good about it. But then there was a doubt in that doubt itself. No, it's backed by science, and there's so much knowledge inside. There's so much podcasts that I've watched and so much life I have lived that no, law of attraction does exist and higher self does exist. It's our interpretation of what it can and cannot do, right? That's where my doubt was, that I'm not in tune with the higher power, and that's why I'm feeling all this. And the minute I start tuning back with the Lord, my higher self, I will feel the energy again. So I had to do something about it. So one is that I did not rush it. I did not get desperate to come out of it. I actually cut myself a lot of slack. I wheeled myself down a little bit in terms of my morning routines and discipline and habits. That can come later. I was not going to burden myself with a lot of doing. Again, I go by the principle of be, do, have, being the person and then doing all the things that are required to be done in order to have what I want. So starting with the becoming is in the mind. You become inside. There's no other way. There's no doing. There's no action involved here except mental action. So I had to take it easy and go many, many steps back. And that's called reset. You restart. So you are it's not like going way back and restarting your whole life. No, it's just a pause button or a reset button. From that point onwards, when you press play again and restart again, you won't find yourself lost all the things that you had achieved all this time. No, you are at a point, you have all that with you, all that past achievements and mental powers, and that you have, they are not gone anywhere. You just need to reset where you can move forward with more strength. That's one thing that I have realized, that every time you go down in your mental energy, the next time you come up again, you actually come out much stronger. So that was my hope. I knew this as a trend in your own life experiences. If you look at the trend, every time you come up again from drowning, you will be stronger. You will be a better swimmer. So that was one hope. So you see how my mind is now working. One, I took responsibility of that I need healing, acceptance. So that's one. Second, I had hope that after this I'm going to come out way stronger. And what was the third one? Yeah, so responsibility and hope, and the fact that I cut myself a lot of slack. That's the third one. So I took it easy. I just went with the flow now, because we have to now follow the flow. I was going the opposite way, and where there is friction and doubt and fear. So when you feel all of that, you know that you are going against the flow. So if the flow is this way, you're going the other way. Now, in order to maneuver and come back in the flow, that maneuvering, that U-turn or that shift, that is where the real work is. This shift from here to here. Once you're in the flow, then you'll flow, obviously. You'll move forward. But it's going this way and then making this turn. This is where the mental shift is. So this turn. What do you do to make that shift? Now, there's so much out there about mental health, about healing strategies, shadow work, mirror work, and they're all good. But the one that is effective for you, you will only know in the moment when you are fully aligned with so fully aware of what is happening with you right now. So number one step of that maneuvering towards the flow, number one step is to pay attention to how you are exactly feeling, without shame or guilt or resentment. Exactly how are you feeling right now? Do you feel like murdering somebody or punching someone in the head? Or write it down. You are feeling this way. All your emotional reactions that are generating in your mind, write it down or speak it out. I'm speaking right now. So just offload yourself in privacy with your thoughts, your journal, where the phone is not going to judge me, my journal is not going to judge me. Somewhere you can offload, not to a human. Very important, not to a human, not to another human, because that human has their own healing process, their own whatever they have figured out to be right for them. They're going to cloud your judgment, right? You need to be in this moment just with yourself and your thoughts, and you write down exactly how you feel. So that's the first step. The first step is to come face to face with how you feel, objectively, right? You cannot have emotions attached at the time. You just have to write down, this is how I feel. Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Or trying to change people, trying to change circumstances. Write everything down or speak it out. It has to just come out of your system. That's the only purpose of this step, is to get it out of your system. And that too without the judgment of anyone else, or without someone else giving you the solution. What you're doing here is you're trying to dig in for your own solution, which is right inside you. You're trying to take it out. And for doing that, the only thing you can do is dig yourself, right? You cannot, yes, others can help you to soften it up a little bit, console you that it's all good. They'll give you some validation and you'll be like, all right, I'm okay. But the real work it's hard, it's crucial, and it's painful. But unless you go deep into your own pus and take all the pus out, you're not gonna heal. So the first step is awareness of what needs to be healed. You have to detect the problem, right? Like a diagnosis of a doctor, and be very objective about it and go deep and find out how much pus there is, how much infection it has caused. All of this it's very good. And that's half the battle done. It's half the battle won, because the minute you see it, the healing starts. You go deep, you see how much gunk and dirt and so much stuff there is. The minute you see it, you will see it's starting to heal itself. Things are getting cleared up, the gunk is going away, the dirt is being washed away. This is how I have felt inside. The minute I saw dirt, the dirt started going away. So that's the first step once you become aware. The second step of putting some medicine on top, or some healing balm on that pain, is by gratitude. Can't stress this enough. When I'm in a low mental state, I always thought, what gratitude? It's a lame thing. I'm grateful. So what? I'm feeling all the pain right now. I don't have time to be grateful. I don't have the capacity to feel grateful. And that's fine, because you're feeling that and you've written it in your journal. You can't force yourself to feel grateful, right? And you can be honest with yourself. Say, I don't see the point of showing any gratitude at this point, right? And that's fine. So the next step is to allow yourself to take time. Yes, gratitude is important, but if you're not feeling it, then just be for a little while, meaning you're hoping that you will get there. The hope is there, but you're not rushing yourself. Remember, you just have to start aligning back in the flow. You can't rush it. If you rush it, there'll be accidents. Points, your U-turn is going to be so shit that you're going to hit a wall or a pillar and there'll be accidents. So you cannot rush this. Take it slowly, but the intention is there not to just stop in the track. You are still moving, maybe very slowly. And if you're not feeling gratitude, right, and that's what is needed for that turn to happen, right? If your foot is just on the accelerator and you're not even putting any push on it, then you're just going to be stuck there, and you don't want that. So how do you apply that little bit of pressure? Not feel too much gratitude, which will sound very fake and it's not effective at all. You have to feel it. You can't just write it down. I can do that for me. If I write down, give me 100 things I'm grateful for, it'll give you 200. So it's not the point. You have to feel this gratitude. How do you feel it? So how do you put your pressure on the pedal slowly? Is by the one thing that I do for this is by decluttering, because somehow my material world outside me, it has to be cleaned. It has a direct impact on the dirt in my mind. I don't know how true, how factual that is, but that's how I operate. If I see clutter around me, I need to have clean spaces in order to start thinking positively, even start feeling the gratitude. So that's an exercise. I do that immediately now by default. Every time I feel low, I actually start cleaning. I start cleaning the house. I start some spaces, I'll pick up a corner and I'll start cleaning that, or my living room where I want to sit and meditate or maybe exercise, all the things that are going to happen in the future, all the new habits. Where is the space for it? Where amongst all this clutter, I can't think straight. So that's the first thing I do. Is my clean space is very important for me to put myself in that mental space where I can now start taking my journal out, writing what I'm grateful for. So when that happens, then why that is important? Why is that when you wake up in the morning, I want you to open your eyes and look around, right? That's why you need a clean space. You can't look around clutter and expect yourself to think positive. And so do that first, clean up, declutter, and then look around. How beautiful the weather is, how lovely the sunrise is, or the sunset if you are not a morning person. Grateful for the Netflix connection or the internet that you have in the house, which makes you forget your pains for a little while and you can watch TV. Or the pets that you have, they are alive, they are around you. It's not going to last, it's not forever, they are here right now. Or even the job that you have, right? It's paying your bills, so you don't have another worry about paying bills or your rent. So all the things that, and if it's still hard to feel grateful, then I do a little negative gearing here. I do a little bit of the opposite of what if. It's not fear or doubt, remember, this is just to shake you up a little bit to feel grateful. Look around and see, what if this goes away? Or what if that stops? What if you don't have the job you have right now? Imagine you don't have a job anymore. Imagine something happens, touch wood, to your loved ones. Or so many things can go wrong that you don't have to worry about right now. Why? Because they are all functioning well, everything is going well. That's the starting point, to see and note all the things that you have to feel grateful towards. So when you start thinking, what if that goes away, or what if this stops, you will start feeling grateful for them to be still around. That's your starting point. When you have just put pressure on the pedal, on the accelerator, and now the car has started turning, right? That is your turning point. Gratitude is your turning point. And once you have fully turned, right, and gratitude is the only way you have to keep doing that. See, I'm still not talking about your morning routines and habits and discipline and all that yet. You're not there. So don't push yourself, oh, I got to lose weight after my vacation, and all that desperation in your head. Don't do that. Take it easy. Get in the flow first. Maneuver the car to that direction. Once the direction is correct, then you will pick momentum. Then you can build speed, right? So that is how it's done. You put a little bit of effort into feeling grateful. If you don't feel grateful, think of all the things that you have. If they are all taken away, you will start feeling grateful for the things that you actually have. And that will lead you to think about more stuff, because now you have opened your mind to gratitude, and now you will see all the things. You will start seeing things that you are grateful for without thinking what if they go away. That's just a trigger or a jump start to your battery. And once that's there, you don't have to hang on to your battery starter. You just have to put it away back in the car, and now you are in the right direction of feeling gratitude. And now you have to just keep on doing that. You wake up in the morning, you look around a nice and clean space. You look around, yes, I am grateful for the roof I have. I am grateful for all this, my eyes to look at. And you start your day there, right? And then all the time, be in tune with how your body feels physically. Is there pain anywhere? Are you feeling bloated? Because all this will happen when you are in low vibrational state. Your body will feel a lot of meh kind of things. Neck will hurt, or your shoulders. This is me. My shoulder would hurt. I get bloated. My skin will have disruptions. My hair will be brittle. Things like that. I will feel more thirsty and patchy, and because I'm not drinking enough water. When you're in low vibrational state, you don't do things correctly for your body. You stop exercising, you stop drinking enough water, and all that will have some physical. So start being in tune with how your body feels, how your body is reacting to this low energy state. In tune with how you feel, how your body feels. Become aware of them. Write down what you're feeling. Again, the process is the same. Becoming aware of the problem and paying attention to the problem is half the battle won. So whatever that problem is, that mental, whatever you are feeling, all the trauma, and that is one, and another one is the physical pain. Whatever is happening right now, just becoming aware of everything that's happening to your body right now. Be aware, write it down. And once you do that, move on to feeling the gratitude for the things that are okay, currently going fine in your life. Once that happens, then you are actually geared towards the right direction. You're on the right track. So, where was I? Yes, so now you're on the right track, and now you have to move. Now, that obviously, that was the whole point of how to bring yourself back on track, is by continuously doing this healing process, and that is healing process. There's so many more strategies out there. Have a look, research, but do what feels right to you. Whatever is most effective for you, only you will know. And see how you feel. Try a few things. There's no harm trying, and then that's the only way you will know what works, what doesn't work. For me, meditation works, which is Vipassana, and Vipassana practice is a meditation type where this whole thing about seeing things objectively, becoming aware of how you're feeling at that point, that can happen when you have a mind that is accustomed to being aware without feelings, right? Without reactions. So there will be stimulation, there will be triggers there during Vipassana practice, that is. While you are doing that meditation, there'll be things coming up in your mind, there'll be stuff happening to your body, there'll be pains, and sometimes there'll be free flow of energy, and you'll feel the highs and the lows, but all throughout that, your mind is supposed to remain stable, undisturbed, and that practice teaches you to be like a doctor who's seeing things objectively. And that is very important for me. So in order to do the Vipassana practice, or in order to do any types of meditation, you need to have that clean space. So you have to start there. You have to start with a decluttered, clean space. That's the first thing. Once you clean your area, your mind automatically starts clearing a lot of things. And it's just really very powerful. And I wouldn't call it magical, but you may feel that way. You may feel that way, that this is all very, very powerful. The minute you start cleaning up, your mind starts getting in a better space. You throw out unwanted stuff. That action of throwing out what you don't need also tells your mind this is how you got to think. So these physical actions of decluttering, of throwing out, of donating, all these physical actions actually teaches the mind of how it should be thinking, right? So that's called the reprogramming of the mind, to bring it back to thinking the right way. And when that happens, then everything, you're in the flow, then things will happen automatically. I wouldn't tell you what step 1, step 2, step 3 would look like, because your step 1, 2 and 3 will look very different to what it looks for me. I can only tell about myself, and that's where I start. I first write down in my journal, first thing in the morning after my prayer. My prayer never stops. That is one routine that will continue till I die. That's like a childhood habit. I would do my morning prayer, and then I would sit down and just sit with my thoughts and do my vipassana meditation. Then I would pick up my journal and do some gratitude writing, and then automatically that will give me ways of what should I do next. Then my mind starts working like that. My mind starts thinking of ideas and what habits I need to put in. Again, I'm not rushing. Every time in the morning when I wake up, I am not rushing into things. I'm letting it be and taking it with the flow. The beginning of the flow is going to be slow and steady till it catches on momentum. And that's the safest way to do this. So I'm so happy that I have come out, finally, out of that dark pit of hopelessness, of fear and self-doubt. And that was horrible to be there. And I lost some friends in the wake. And that's all good. It's part of the process. It's part of the journey. And with open arms, I welcome whoever wants to enter my life or whoever wants to come back in my life. I am open to that as well. And there's just things happen in your life for a reason, to teach you that there are stuff that you need to deal with. At the end of the day, you are with yourself. No one is going to come and save you, rescue you. That is one hard truth that you have to come face to face with. You have to know nobody is coming to save you. If you think your God is going to come and save you, even that's not gonna be true, because you are your own God. You have to believe in, till yourself cannot help yourself, no superpower can come and help you. No higher self comes and helps you. They are trying, they are constantly helping you, but till you're not in tune with that frequency or their radio station, you will not get the blessings. You're not going to feel anything, because God does not partial. He is blessing everybody equally. Why are we then on different energy platforms? Because we are not in tune. So at the end of the day, whose responsibility is it? Who's going to take you out of that spot? You have to do something about it. And this is what has helped me. And this is how I have found my peace back. I have found my vibe back. And guys, it's gonna happen again. That's the thing. It's gonna happen again. But then you will know the exact process of coming out of it. So when you fall back in the dark pit, you will feel all of that things. But at least you will have that tool to hang on to. This is how I'm going to come out of it. I have to take it easy. I have to be aware of how I'm feeling. I'll write down every negative emotion I feel in my bones. And I'm going to be so aware of, and I'm going to be brutally honest that, and I want to take responsibility for all this dirt and gunk that is inside me. I have to do all the cleaning. And then you start actually cleaning your physical workspace, your physical space, your material life. Start decluttering, donating, cleaning, gratitude, meditation. Those are the things how that car from to here, it's going to maneuver. That slow turn, and keep it slow. Keep staying aware of how you feel the gratefulness, slow, steady, and then it'll start picking up momentum till you fall back again in the dark pit. So that's life. It's going to bring some new traumas. It's going to bring some new things. As long as you're human and you've not become a Buddha, you're a long way to incarnation. You're a long way to feeling nirvana. So this is all part of the journey. You lose people, there'll be more people. You lose them again, there'll be more people coming in. New jobs, old jobs going away. It's just life. It will keep on happening. But when it does, you know how to get out of it. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I made this video. And I now will have this video for myself when I feel it next. So I am feeling more confident. I'm not fearful of when that dark pit, when I fall there again. I will have this tool. I will take my phone with me in that pit, and I'm going to listen to this video and I'm going to come out of it. And that way I don't have any worries. I know this is how life will be. It'll never be perfect. And this is perfection. These imperfect moments make our lives perfect. With that, my vlog ends. Bye bye.